Hi, I'm Abby.
And I'm Michael. And today we're going to talk about the use of AI models and the impact they have on pricing and competition, specifically around what we've seen in the news around RealPages. And for those of you who don't know, RealPages is an aggregator of rental information across the US. And what they've done is they've built some AI models to help landlords set their rent prices. The interesting thing is now they're in a little bit of a legal bind because they're getting pushed on Collusion because they have about 70% of the market in some of these U.S. markets, and the rental prices have gone up significantly over the last couple of years. So what are your thoughts on this, Abby? How are you thinking about what's happening with this AI model and everyone kind of using it, the same one?
Yeah, I think there's two things. One that makes this a little bit unique is it's as you're entering in who you're renting to, what are the net prices that are being paid. RealPage is kind of aggregating all that information, and it's granted it's not on the customer level, but the algorithm's running off of that. So if like 80% of the renters out there are using this algorithm in a certain area, it's essentially you have one pricing manager that's using the same data, and you're going to drive to the same conclusions. So of course, it's going to start to climb those rents up. So I can see why there's concern around it, because essentially you're perfectly aggregating that data and you have the exact same algorithm that's going to drive to the exact same result, provide the exact same recommendation just to different landlords that are out there. So you would expect that things are going to move in the same direction.
Yeah, and as I think about this, I don't necessarily see it as an AI problem, right? Mm-hmm. I think AI has a lot of potential to be used when building pricing models, and for companies out there, this seems more of a control problem that everyone's using the same AI model.
A control problem, or, I always like to look at it where the opportunity is. If I was a competitor out there or a big corporate competitor and I wanted to get in seriously to a market, I'd look at some of these markets where RealPage has gotten the rents up like 40, 50, 70% up. I'd go in there in a very serious way, and you could probably take a material amount out of that market relatively quickly at incredible leverage.
Yeah, that's a great point, because I think one of the things that people often forget is they expect kind of these AI machines, and especially in pricing, hey, spit out the right answer, but there has to be some manual strategic intervention with someone who's thinking about the broader implications.
And, that's often our key pushback in companies, because when companies get very comfortable with using their models, you get very good at using a system. You get much less good at understanding what's going on out there competitively, what's going on out there from a value perspective, and how we're positioned, and how's that rolling between our financials. You're much more so that, hey, the model's kind of spitting me a result. Here's what we've kind of gotten used to do. It's the easy thing to do.
And can you imagine if someone does come into one of those market undercuts, what kind of wacky outputs that model is going to start giving, because it's not going to be used to some of that data coming in.
Exactly. And the data that's coming in is the data that everyone else is using on the model. So you're not going to see it for a long time, probably. Well, that's all we have for this week. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.